Welcome, my friend. This video today is about Saturn's transit to Pisces. Why video on transit? And why so much fuss about transit? What transit is all about? Well, let's talk about Anna. So Anna was born in 1990 in Kochi, Kerala. Okay, and after her birth, she started studying in Kochi, nearby school. After a couple of years, her father got an opportunity to work with one of the organizations in Singapore. So the entire family had to relocate to Singapore, and I also joined them, obviously. So she's continued the education in Singapore, and she did her MBA from National University of Singapore. And after that, she applied for a job, and she's currently working with one of the very big investment banks in London, in the UK. So her life actually transformed, if you see. So she took birth in a humble family, and then currently she is in London. Now, we also took birth at some point in time. When we took birth, there were some planetary positions at that point in time which we captured, and we call that as our natal horoscope. But do those planets actually impact us after we took birth? They keep on moving in the zodiac somewhere, but why do they impact us? Why do we talk about transit if sometime few days down the line Saturn is transiting from Aquarius to Pisces? How does it impact us? Haven't we taken birth already on a specific day, right? Like Anna, she took birth in Kochi in a humble background, but actually, because her father got an opportunity in Singapore, she had to relocate to Singapore. It impacted her life. What impacted her life? Her father's decision impacted her life. Oh, so it means one is not free to decide his or her destiny basis their own judgment and thoughts, right? In the family we take birth, we are also influenced by the decisions and thoughts and the destinies of our family members as well. And who are those family members? Father, in astrology term, we can refer father as sun. Mother, we can call it moon. So effectively, every relative of us, all the friends like Mercury, they all are influencing our life path in some way or the other, right? So that's the reason we look at transit. Now, if Saturn is moving from Aquarius to Pisces, right? How Saturn will feel in Pisces? Like, how did Anna's father feel in Singapore? Was he happy being in a new organization? He was. He decided to stay longer in Singapore, and because of which Anna was able to complete her MBA, right? So, had her father not been happy in Singapore, they would have moved somewhere else, and Anna's life destiny could have been a bit different. Likewise, when Saturn is going to move to Pisces, how does Saturn feel being in Pisces? Right? That will dictate the mood and spirit of Saturn, and that impact eventually will come down to all of our horoscopes. Though our horoscope, natal horoscope, has been decided when we took birth, still these planets, through their motion, we call it transit or gochar, keep influencing our life pattern, right? All right. The second point I want to make is this video is for Jataka only. I am not going to talk about mundane or the worldly matter at this point in time. Let you and I try to improve and work upon ourselves, and which is the most important area at this point in time. Okay. Now, I've had a couple of videos on transit few years back actually. So this is sort of my second inning, I could call it. And those videos on transit were slightly different, right? And this video, even from now onward, the entire journey, the second inning, is going to be slightly different. You know, you get to learn more, you get to understand more. The difference would be primarily in two areas. One, that I'll try to keep the duration smaller. I'll try to keep as much as possible, and that is basically a byproduct of the main reason. You know, I happened to visit a doctor some time back. I had a fever, and the doctor did the checkup and told me that this seems to be a viral fever. I said, okay, that's fine. And then he kept on explaining about viral, that it's an infection kind of thing, and you can get this through multiple ways. Either you can get it through ingestion and inhalation. He explained in detail. ingestion, like you get to eat some food basically which is already infected, and inhalation, somebody is infected with this virus and you get in contact with that person, I mean, it gets transmitted through airborne. He kept on explaining a couple of other items like bodily fluids or bite, some bug can bite you. I got irritated, honestly. He was doing a good thing by providing knowledge to me, but at some point in time, because I was not well at that point in time, my mind was not ready to take this much of knowledge. I kind of told him, dude, don't teach me all this. I'm not here come to become a doctor. Okay, this is not my intent to come to you. Just give me some medicine, antibiotics, or paracetamol, whatever you deem fit. Take the money, and that's about it. Let me get cured as early as possible. And actually, when I get cured after some time, I thought about the incident again, and I realized that when I put up this kind of videos on astrology, why do you come to listen to the videos? Is your intent to become an astrologer? 100%, 90%, 80%, maybe handful of you, 10%, 20%. But majority, people who don't understand astrology or understand a bit or slightly more, the intent, the prime intent could be to take some takeaways back, to get to understand how this transit hold for you, what are the implications and results, so that if one, you can get some visibility about yourself, though at a generic level. Second, you get to understand how the time will unfold for you and what precautions you can take in time to make your life much more meaningful. That is the reason this, from this onward, this inning, I'll try to uh, tailor-made my videos in such a way that I'll talk about different concepts, but I'll try not to use many technical jargons. I'll try to keep it a bit simple. Parallelly, I'll have some other knowledge imparting videos, so to say, kind of an astrology courses, obviously at YouTube's, and which in your free time, when you're happy, then you like to listen to such things. But at this point in time, my focus will be to provide you the analytical part more than explanatory part. I hope you understand. All right. Okay. What next? All right. So I'll talk about the 12 signs. I'll start from Aries and I'll end with Pisces as a normal practice, the basic practice. Though I'll not get into much of the detail, but it is important. Rather, it is good for you to understand the methodology which I'm going to adopt. Okay. And to talk about methodology, it is a video on transit of Saturn, as you know. But will Saturn aspect or influence life independently? Okay. There are other planets in the zodiac, 8 other planets. Are they not going to exert their influence as well along with Saturn on your life? Let's get back to that example. Let's get back to Anna. When her father decided to move to Singapore, the entire family relocated, obviously. So her mother ensured that she set up the home in such a way that everybody could get good delicacies. She used to go to Little India, got some spices, and were able to present that delicious sambar dosa at home. So the entire family actually felt being at home. They liked the city primarily because of the mother's engagement. Her contribution was even better or significant than that of her father, isn't it? And likewise, the brother, her younger brother also contributed. The entire family actually contributed and helped each other to stick to each other, right? So when sun is representing the father, moon is representing the mother. So it is not only one planet. Effectively, getting it into our current topic, when Saturn is going to move from Aquarius to Pisces, it is not alone Saturn which is going to influence your and everybody ours chart. Right? It will be other planetary influence as well. Now, 8 other planets are there. It will not be prudent on my part to kind of look at the effect of all the faster moving planet as well in this generic kind of video. To make it simple, to make it effective and user friendly, I'll be looking at 4 top planets who are comparatively slow moving planets. Saturn, obviously, then Jupiter, then Rahu and Ketu. The remaining 5 planets, Mars, Mercury, Venus, Sun and Moon, are relatively slower in motion, right? So it becomes a bit difficult to assess their influence at a generic level. However, I'll take their help as well where I need to be really specific to bring about a specific point. Okay, I'll explain. Now, the last point before I actually start into 12 signs, what will be the duration of this analysis which I'm going to put forward to you? Well, the transit of Saturn generally it lasts for 2.5 years. Okay, transit is going to take place from March, 29th of March, as you know. So, is the date that important? Not really. Because by the time you start looking and listening to the video, the effect of Saturn transit will already be there. It starts a bit early, right? So, the duration of this video will be from March onward, right? Basically, from the time you are looking at the video, watching the video. Up till, well, because other planets also influence, so Rahu and Jupiter are about to take a move. So before they make a move, right, there will be some, in fact, after they make a move, there will be other changes. So it is difficult to assess so many changes in short span of time. From our understanding, it becomes difficult for us to kind of calculate what is going to take place after 1 year down the line. It doesn't make sense at a generic level. So the duration of this analysis will be for 2 months. Will be applicable for March and April. And before April ends, I'll come back to you with further analysis which will be relevant at that point in time. Alright? So with this context and background, let us get into the first sign, which is Aries. Now, I'll be talking about sun sign from 4-5 different angles. The first, I'll talk about briefly, very briefly, only result component. I'll talk about the work, which will include the job and the business perspectives. Okay. Second point, I'll touch base on finance, wealth, income and wealth. Third, I'll talk about the health aspect. Then I'll touch base relationship, which will encompass your internal relationship, basically at home with your spouse, your partner, your kids, your family, parents, and your external relationship, which basically cover your engagement with society at large, your office colleagues, your friend circle, network, community at a whole. And the last will be basically something specific, a bingy item, something one of a kind, which is important for me to call it out for that sign itself. All right. So Aries. Now Aries, as I briefly alluded to you a couple of minutes ago, that I'll be taking the effect of Saturn, Jupiter, Rahu, Ketu, and other planets wherever required. So just to explain, and then I'll talk about the analytical part. For Aries, I'm looking at the 12th house where we have Saturn, and I'm also looking at second house where we have Jupiter, Taurus. Now Saturn is also influencing or aspecting 3 houses like Taurus, Virgo and Sagittarius. So for Aries, those houses are basically second house, 6th house and 9th house. Likewise, we have aspect of Jupiter, 5th, 7th and 9th. Likewise, we have aspect of Rahu, 5th, 7th, 9th and 12th house aspect. So put together, taking the cumulative impact of all these placements, aspects, along with other planets wherever required, here is the result for Aries sign. From work perspective, well, I'll say you have had a good time in the recent past. People who are in job, they would have experienced maybe a job change or some promotion with good increment. People who are in business, you also experience something good offhand, just off the bat, something good. Things are going to be stable, and it is important for you to make use of that platform. Build up on that platform, right? Things have happened for you, now build on the platform and take it forward to the next level. Specifically, people, those of you who are into business, now you will get fabulous opportunities to invest, right? But keep in mind, when you get the opportunities to invest because of Saturn, right, then you need to be really honest in your dealing. Till the time you're being honest, you're hardworking in terms of analyzing the deals at your hand, things will really convert into your favor. That is good for you. Second aspect for Aries, finances. Well, finances have been kind of okay so far for you, but the thing now is March and April, you're going to see a lot of increase in your finances. Expenditure will be on the rise, and therefore it is important to be a bit reasonable while spending the money. Just take care of that. Otherwise, I don't see any challenge in this area for you specifically, but it will be on the higher side. Just take care of that. Okay. Now, in terms of health, this is a bit tricky. For every sign, generally person goes through health problems throughout the year. Generally, something or the other keeps on happening. So I'll be talking about those specific subtle areas which need you to pay attention specifically. Okay. For Aries people, first would be that you will feel a bit clouded during March and April. You need to sort it out. Basically, when it comes to taking any decision, you will not be able to take decision quickly. You'll feel a bit lethargic. There'll be, for any big decision, you will think about couple of ways. Should I go this way or that way? There you need focus. Second, in terms of health, is you may experience a bit of back pain. Okay. Now, to avoid back pain, one common advice, basic normal advice, would be to do yoga. Yoga will definitely help you. But the Jyotish aspect, key takeaway from Jyotish perspective is that March is a month where you can do yoga. You can take even free classes. That is fine. But in April, kindly pay some money for the yoga classes. And if you are getting free yoga classes, like any instructor comes to your apartment, right? Or you just turn on the YouTube channel and take yoga classes, and you can't pay to the yoga instructor directly, you can actually donate a yoga mat or yoga sheet to somebody needy. So the moment you donate somebody in the month of April, that will fructify your desire, and your health, your back pain can actually subside. Very, very important point to make out. So I'm not going into analysis. I'm not going into the detail why and what. Otherwise the video will be really longer. The purpose is for you to get the analytical portion of it, apply to your life, and take the benefit. As simple as that. And by this, I can cut short the duration to some extent, I hope. I'm restricting myself to the extent possible. It is not easy on my part, but I'm trying to restrict myself and stay focused on the analysis specifically. Now, moving forward for Aries in terms of relationships. Well, this is going to be a kind of tricky period for you. Tricky in the sense there are two aspects to it. The first aspect, you will experience that your relationship with the younger lot is tremendously beautiful. You just love to have a good relationship with the younger lot. But with the elder people, like people of your father's age or any other elder, you will have some sort of confrontation. Just keep that aspect in mind. Now, any bingy item or some outlier for Aries? Well, two things. One, you may end up getting into some sort of secret relationship during this period, specifically in the month of March. Just keep an eye on that. Second, you will also experience a lot of travel for yourself, and those travel will not be restricted or limited to only your local country. It can go beyond local country into foreign territories. So those are two outliers which I'd like to call it out for you. All right. Now moving to Taurus sign. For work, well, you guys have seen some tough times of late, okay? And I must admit, you have been very strong in coming out of that tough time. And Taurus people, well, I always tell Taurus people that you guys are truly self-made guys, truly self-made. And I respect you guys a lot for that. Even after this recent so-called tougher times, you didn't give up. People were there to help you out, but you always put up your desire to hold it on your own, and that is an excellent trait in you guys, and you need to be really proud of yourself because of this trait. So as far as work is concerned, I think it is your time. Your time is starting. You have held yourself for long. Now it is time to get the payout back to you. So just take it forward slowly. Start connecting with your network, building onto it. Wherever you feel you can have the opportunities to convert the pending item, try to look for that. Things are coming up for you. Just grab the opportunities. It is the start of the good time for you. Okay, from work perspective. Now, from finance perspective, I'll say it is good time, but because it is impacted or influenced heavily by Saturn, it will ask for the hard work. And this is not immune to you. This is what you're made of, hard work. This comes naturally to you, to Taurus people. So I would say this is your strength area. So the harder you work, the better you get. The more you will be able to derive in terms of financial benefits. So just go full throttle. This is your time to derive as much as possible. Okay. Now for health perspective, well, very very specific. One, you'll start to feel a bit lazy. Anyways, you like to sleep a bit late. You'll start to feel a bit lazy and also a bit more pessimistic. So, my advice would be, or recommendation to you would be, to start getting up early before sunrise. That can really turn the tables for you in a very, very effective way. Alright? Now, relationships, two aspects. With your partner, the partner could be spouse if you're married, otherwise, your normal friend partner. So, with your partner, will definitely improve. And when I say improve, it is going to improve a hell lot. It will improve a lot. But you also have a lot of desire to have a social connect with different people outside world, but that will not sustain a longer time. So effectively, your in-house relationship will really flourish, and that is the best thing one can have. So I would call it out a good time from your relationship perspective as well for all the people from Taurus. Is there any other bingy item for you? Well, I would say, so you need to be mindful of your own decision because your Lagna is super active, supercharged. You will have a lot of ideas. Should I do that? Should I do this? A lot of self doubts as well, as I covered in health. A bit of pessimism and self doubts. A bit of conflicts. So my recommendation: you should actually start reading some of the self help books. For example, you can read Shiv Kheda books, or you can read Dale Carnegie, whomsoever you like to read. That will really give you good direction during this period. Okay. Now moving forward to Gemini. In work area specifically, guys, this is not going to be a rosy period for you. I'm being as honest and as blunt as possible. Well, the purpose of astrologer is not to inculcate fear in anybody's mind, but I need to call a spade a spade. Okay, I should not be talking only about the goody goodies. If the period March, I'm talking about March, April. Again, I'm repeating myself. Okay, so if this period is not looking that great for you, I need to call it out. But it doesn't mean that something untoward is going to happen with you. Everybody passes through this period. You know, you passed through this period earlier as well, and a lot of people from other sun signs, or sorry, other signs will also pass through this period with you as well. So it is not that a great a period which will give you ample opportunities for making move, making changes in your job, or which will convert opportunities in front of business. Just it is a period to watch out for. Now, where you can have the problem, if we get that visibility, that can really help us, isn't it? So the problem where you face is confrontation with your boss, with your supervisor. So you need to manage that aspect really well. And how you can manage? Simple common sense. Need to check your ego, check your anger. Don't act with impulse. Okay? Don't be impulsive. And that is the advantage of astrology. If you get some sort of visibility that these 2 months, so to say, are not that effective for us at professional front, we need to manage and hold ourselves. We need to manage our composure that effectively. That's about it. That's about it. You know, attitude sometimes prove more effective than your skill set, isn't it? So it is the time for you to put focus on your attitude. Okay, from work perspective. Now, in terms of money matter, income will be stable, rather it can even get better, but the challenge is expenditure, ever mounting expenditure. That is an area you need to take care of. No overspending, please, no overspending. In terms of health, well, when you will have a bit of kind of complicated time at your workplace, obviously naturally you will tend to bring that worry, those thoughts back to your home, and that will cause problem. You may have sleep deprivation or kind of feeling of isolation at some extent, and that will actually put you at the back foot from a health perspective, because you know you need good rest, your body needs rest, your mind needs rest. When you don't get that, that can impact your day's work. Exactly. So one thing you can do and you should do a mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. That will really make your heart calm, your mind calm, and you will get some sleep. That can help you. Okay. Now, in terms of relationship, well, I'll say you'll have a lot of attention on this aspect, but it will not be as easy specifically at home. Specifically at home. Okay? External relationship, anyways, I've told you in terms of work profession how it will be, but at home also, when it is natural actually, though it is reflecting in astrological aspect, but actually when we are not happy at workplace during the day, naturally that mindset comes back to our home and that impacts your home affairs as well, home relationship as well. So that is quite natural, isn't it? All right. Anything other which I'd like to call out for you people? Well, either you would have purchased a property recently, and if not, you may be thinking to buy a property. Well, I'll recommend you to hold on, think about it again, right? Think about the overall finances, how you can manage, and once you have a good roadmap of managing your finances, go for it. Go for it. Okay. Now moving to Cancer. From work perspective, guys, think about it. From Cancer, Pisces is your ninth house, right? And we have Saturn transiting into your ninth house. Rahu is already there, sitting in ninth house, and Rahu in ninth house is Maran Karak Sthan. Okay, Saturn joining the party. Ninth house is the house of Bhagya for you. So when in the house of Bhagya you have MKS Rahu and Saturn being a malefic planet, will it be that great for you? Just think about it. And Saturn is seventh and eighth lord. Eighth lord. That is also an important aspect, guys. I am keeping that area also in mind. I'm not spelling it out, but everything is a part of this analysis. So this is not a great time for you financially. This is one aspect. But in some areas, it can also help you. Like you will get some support from your partner, which can be really good for you, right? So, but during this period, what I would recommend you, before I recommend you, I'll tell you why I'm saying it is not that bad a period, because the dispositor is kind of okay. It is placed okay. That is actually helping you out. Okay. Now, because of that, you will see things may try to go out of control at your workplace, but still it will be in control. And that's where your spouse can actually be a very good support for you. So try to discuss your work patterns or work problem where you can with your spouse, with your partner, and then take a decision mutual level wherever possible, and that can be really helpful for you. Okay, that is one. Now, in terms of your money matters, I'll say March looks fine and reasonable. April, you may face a bit of challenge. So comparing between March and April, April is slightly tricky. And in terms of finances, you need to discuss it with your elders. That's really important. If you do that, if you take financial decision in consultation with your elders, then even April will be okay for you. Right? Now, in terms of health, well, there's a catch in health. You may find yourself getting overindulgent into food items which can disturb your digestive system. It happens when things do not go our way, the way like the things to go at work front or at different junctures. I mean, at home we try to do binge watching, eat some junk stuff like chocolate, etc., and that can disturb our digestive pattern. Just keep an eye on that. Okay? In terms of your relationship, as I mentioned during your work pattern, that your spouse or your partner can be effective for your professional consultation. So you can very well gauge that your relationship with your partner is going to be good for you. That is a very good thing. You'll have somebody to discuss your feelings, to share your feelings, let the other person share their feelings, and it is a very good solace for both of you. So that's a very, very good thing for you. And let me tell you that your network relationship, your network connectivity will also play a key role at this juncture. Just keep an eye on that as well. Okay. Anything else? Well, for you, for Cancer people, the major thing is you need to take care of your ninth house. And what is the best way to take care of your ninth house? I think when it comes to Guru, simple remedy could be you can do a mantra Om Guruve Namah. Simple. And this can be as effective as you can think of. Simple mantra, but the effective results can be achieved. Okay. Moving forward to Leo sign. Now, Leo people. Guys, thumbs up from work perspective, you guys have a good time so far. So fantastic! Congratulations on your professional front, on your business conversions. That's great. There have been a lot of changes, sudden changes as well. You have been through all. Now the thing is, now you need to be a bit cautious in terms of your work area. A bit cautious. And specifically when it comes to taking business decisions. Do not take any business decision in haste. Think thrice, not even twice, thrice. Because you've got a platform now, you need to build on to that platform, take it to another level. So your thought process has to be there in your every decision, specifically in business. Okay. But it's a good time, just have a great time. All right. In terms of finances, well, March is relatively quite good for you. Finances look okay. And April, you need to manage your expenses slightly better. But overall, I would say even April, you guys know how to manage your expenses. And you're managing your expenses pretty well. So that's a good thing. In terms of health, well, health looks a bit tricky. So because of impact of Saturn around 6th and 8th house, it's a bit tricky. You'll have to incur some money also on health. So you need to listen to the Rudra remedy. I'll talk towards the end of the video. So that generic remedy can really be helpful for you from health perspective. Just keep that in mind. Okay. Now relationship, I'll say respite at home with your partner, with your kids, with your family member. It will be good. But at your workplace, it can be a bit tricky. But there is a silver lining. You may come across your partner during this period, right? Which is a good thing, a very good silver lining. So that's thumbs up. Okay, and anything else? Well, as I mentioned briefly, for you it is important that you take a health cover for yourself. It is very important. It doesn't come expensive nowadays. Just look for a good policy. If it is not already there, it will be prudent on your part to get yourself a health cover. My suggestion. Okay. Now moving forward to Virgo. Work perspective, well, I must congratulate you on your resilience and perseverance. You passed through a period which was not very, well, say, okayish for you, but you passed through that. Now is the time to build it on. Okay. So again, I'll recommend you to look for converting your opportunities. Those who are looking forward to make a change in your professional career, this is the time to explore your LinkedIn, your Naukri, your network. Just explore all the opportunities in business, the deals which were not closed couple of months down the line. Try to reinitiate those deals. This is the time those can actually convert and turn into your favor. So thumbs up in terms of professional workspace. But between April and March, March is much better. April compared to March, slightly on the downside. So use the month of March as much as possible in reinitiating your previous so-called died activities, okay, in terms of business perspective. On money front, it has not been a challenge for you, and you don't need to worry on that front. This is fine. Thumbs up. On health perspective, so guys, I would recommend you to do 7,000 to 8,000 steps a day, okay, or do some cycling. So in nutshell, I like you to move your legs. The more you move your legs, the better you will be staying away from your any diseases and such. So health will then be fine for you. Okay. Now relationship. Well, people who are in Virgo, if I will say that of late you have been a bit optimistic about your partner, your spouse, your kids, your family members, expecting a bit more from somebody else, right? So things will calm down a bit now. Expectation will milder, and that will give your other family members, a level playing field, make more, which will make the atmosphere more congenial, and that's a very good thing for you. So the summary which I want to convey to you, that things are going to be better for you in terms of relationship at your home front. Okay. Now, in terms of any other item, well, they have been travel for you. So my suggestion for you, try to restrict your travel at this juncture, right? 7th house, you have Rahu, Digbali, Saturn, Digbali. Travel, they will try to drag you to travel. But the point is, do you like to incur more money on your travel? Will it give you benefit in terms of business conversions? No. That is the reason I'm telling you, try to restrict your travel. If it is about business discussion, try to have it on Zoom call, Teams meeting, anywhere using the technology as far as possible. Unless it is really important to travel, try to avoid it. Okay, and save some money on that front. Moving forward to Libra, from work perspective, I'll say things are going to be a bit more complex for you, right? You will have some sort of confrontation with your colleagues at workplace. Now those colleagues could be your supervisors, could be at the same level that you are, but there will be some confrontation. There will be a difference of opinion, and the problem, you'll not be able to hold yourself back. You'll try to give it back to the other person. That's fair. If you can hold yourself back using this knowledge, leveraging this insight of astrology, that can give you a level playing field, and then you can hold on during March and April, at least till the time we look at the future period, how it holds for you. At least for March and April, hold on, try to remain calm, just take it step by step, move slowly, calmly. Bottom line, reduce your speed by 3. If you're working at this level, try to bring it down to a lower level. Automatically, everything will calm down. Yeah? From money matter perspective, guys, well, I'll say you need to be cautious in money matter. Please, no overspending. No overspending. The challenge is Sun will be in 7th house. It acts like being Ast for you. So I will really recommend, Sun in your 11th lord is not very strongly representing your income here. So you need to be cautious here. No overspending. And 7th house anyways is not doing great for you. From health perspective, well, I'll say you too need to go for full body health checkup. Now, is it astrology? Well, we can go for our health checkup whenever we like to. But the thing is, when we get to know that upcoming period may not be that great from health perspective. So that acts as an impetus for us to take action right now. And that is the advantage. You know, it is not to inculcate fear in your mind. It is just to give you that power of information which you can use to your advantage, right? You can take a conscious decision. Yeah, now I know I can get my health checkup done and I can dictate my life the way I like to. You know, you have the power in your hands. That's the benefit. Things will happen, but if you are informed, you can manage them effectively, and that is the advantage of astrology. Now, coming back to that point, if you get your health checkup done, that will be good for you, right? Now, relationship. March is much better for you. April, 7th house is not doing that good for you. You know, 7th lord will also become Nietzsche, and a couple of other things are happening. So April is not that effective for you. Make use of the month of March. Whenever you want to get something done using your relationship, March is the month for you. Anything else? Well, for you, again, health is of prime importance. One clue I can give you, if you get your health checkup done and start taking medicine, if something comes up in a report before April, if you start your remedy before April, it is highly likelihood that your initial stage problem, that disease can get cured really quickly. But if you delay it and take it beyond April, then that can be a challenging problem for you. So use this knowledge to yourself. Now moving forward to Scorpio. On work front, I'll say fantastic. You're going to see some major relief. Fantastic area, fantastic time for you. Be it job, professional front, be it business front. This is going to be your time. Make best possible use of your time. Okay. So great. Okay. Now moving forward to money matter. Well, in terms of money, I'll say March again is comparatively much better for you than April. For you, income will flow, but creating wealth looks a bit difficult. Creating wealth means income will be there, but spending will already be there before you earn some money. You'll not be able to save much. But who cares? As long as you have income flowing into your pocket, that's about it, isn't it? Work is okay, finance is okay, health, thumbs up. I mean, this is fine. You're moving good, you're doing good, buddy. Great. Relationship, you've had a great time in the past. Relationship, I'll say, will be a bit of a mix. Your home internal relationship will be relatively much better, much better. External relationship, your connectivity can be a bit tricky. Need to look for that. But yes, at home it will be fine. Anything else? Any bingy item? Well, let me give you some goodie. Start looking out for your dream home. You might have looked at it recently by now as well. If not, this is the time. Thumbs up. Look for that. Now, moving to Sagittarius, work pattern. Guys, hold on tight. No experiments. Please, no experiments. This is not a time to take risk. This is not a time to make experiment. Just go with the flow. Take an action as life demands out of you. No hanky panky. No going out of the flow. Just stay where you are. And this is applicable to both people who are in job and people who are in business. Stay where you are, stay focused, try to build on your platform, wait for the right time to take the calculated risk. Till then, status quo for you from work perspective. Money matter, well, finance looks fine for you. You're managing your expenses really well, and you too know how to manage expenses pretty well. Thumbs up for you. Good job. For health, April looks a bit tricky. There can be issues like gastric trouble to you, indigestion. Just take care of those issues. Have some salad, sprouts, basic advice in the month of April specifically. Relationship, I'll say external societal relationship will be pretty okay. Pretty okay. At home front, there can be a bit of challenge. Need to manage those relationships well. Guys, when I'm saying relationship can be a bit of challenge at home front or with your community and society at large, what I mean, I am kind of empowering you to be aware of upcoming time. So if you know your relationship can be a bit tricky, then you need to mold yourself accordingly. Be more accommodative. Listen to somebody, what the other person is trying to say. Maybe your initial reaction to somebody's statement is not appropriate. Give yourself more time before you respond to the statements. That's about it. That's how you can kind of control and make use of this knowledge. It is not to kind of frighten you or take you a step back. No, it is for you to take a step forward in the right direction. I hope you understand. You're mature enough to understand those things. All right. So I just forgot where I was. I think I was talking about Sagittarius. Yeah. So I covered relationship for Sagittarius. Anything else? Well, I'll say if you are thinking about making a big investment in terms of your house property or business front, avoid taking loans. If you have an equity, use it, your own money. But at this juncture, I'll not recommend you to go for a loan. First, you need to take care of your inflow of finances. Once those are stable and managed pretty well, then take the next step in terms of loan. All right, Capricorn. Capricorn people, recharge yourself for something big, something really big. You've been through the time, now it is time for you to make the most of it. The platform is set, the platform is ready for you to take the leaps out of it. It is up to you how you take the leap out of it. Okay, you need to ensure that time is really good for you. Thumbs up from my side, make the most of it. Okay. And this applies to both people who are in job, people who are in business, applies to both. And specifically, the month of April is the key month for you. March, I see a bit of nitty-gritties, even though March is also okay. So I'm now comparing between March and April. So from that comparison perspective, April looks far better. March is also okay, but this okay is also great. So you're doing good in terms of profession, yeah? Work in terms of work, to put it together for business and job people. Now money matter, again such a relief. You've seen some tough days. Now Money will flow really stable, nice way. It is your time. You can have respite. Good, good. You deserve it. Now, health. Health, I'll say, you need to keep your mind focused. From for you, for Capricorn people, health is not about physical. Health is about mental. So you need to ensure that you have some good association of people. If you have good company, you will have good thoughts, and good thoughts will result to good actions, and those good actions will make you choose the right thing and make the best possible of this positive or constructive platform. So try to have a good association. So health for you is more at a mental level. Keep yourself strong mentally. Relationship, well, you'll have a lot of focus at your home front, on your kids, with your partner, your spouse. A lot of focus will be there, and that will make your life much, much calmer, smoother. You will get your composure back. So it is a good time for you from health perspective. Very, very good time. Anything else? Well, you'll find it quite unique that suddenly, though you are that kind of person, but suddenly you will regain your interest to listen to some sort of ghazal, some instrumental music. You'll try to engage yourself in some sort of philosophical thoughts with your network, with your friends, and that is really good. That will help you to maintain or regain your composure from mental health perspective. So good time for you. Yeah. Moving on to Aquarius. From work perspective, well, for you, very, very unique thing is happening. For you, work from home can become a bigger issue now. You've been working from home of late, but now you may end up into a situation where your company, HR or supervisor will tell you, or rather get into confrontation with you, guy, hey, you need to work from office for longer period. You can't work from home for 3 days. You need to be in office for 4 days or even for the full week. Those people who are in business, you may find that things are not really being able to manage really well when you're not at your workplace. You have to be at your workplace physically. Things are not being able to manage outside the workplace. So work from home is no longer an option for you, and that can trickle down to have some confrontation with your superiors. Okay, so that is an area you need to manage really well. Now you know what can come your way, so manage that accordingly. Money matter, entire focus, your focus will shift onto money. Entire focus, and rightly so. You are really looking how to make a move, but let me tell you, let me call a spade once again. No immediate change for you. Even if you forcefully inflict a change on yourself, it will not go in your way. So hold on to it. Wait for your time. Use this insight. Okay, hold on to it. Manage how you can go to office and work out things in your favor. Don't overindulge in expenditure. Money flow is not that great. In terms of health, well, this is quite tricky for you. You may end up into health problem, because of your food pattern. So you need to ensure that fagging can really impact your health. Try to reduce fagging as far as possible, and non-vegetarian food also need to reduce a bit. Try to take care of your health by avoiding these two items as much as possible. You know? Relationship, some respite. There has to be something good, isn't it? So relationship with your spouse will improve a lot, and that will give you a lot of solace. You will discuss with your spouse, your partner, quite a lot, quite in detail, and that can be a turning point for you. Now, anything else? Anything bingy? Let me tell you something upfront. Guys, you need to have such a company who tend to be factually correct. You may be prompted to say certain things which others may call a lie. You will try to justify that, I'm factually correct, but you may not be factually correct at point in time. So try to avoid such situation. Try to be factually correct. Try to say things as it is. And this again comes from the company. Try to have such association who kind of do not do backbiting, so that you also tend to be straight and upfront with others in your dealings. That is essential. Specifically will impact your professional relationships. Now, moving on to Pisces, where the entire journey, entire drama is taking place. Saturn is getting into Pisces. As you know, Rahu is there. Now Saturn will be in Pisces as Maran Karak. Well, I'm using some technical jargons which I should not use. Apologies for that. So these are big jargons, but the meaning is a bit different. It is not that grave, so to say. The planet may not feel happy. What are the implications for us? Let me talk about the implications, the analysis part straight away. So work will not be as easy for you. You will have a bit of challenges, as you can really make it out for yourself. Saturn and Rahu being in Pisces, Ketu is in 7th house, not that great. And then on top of it, your Lagna Lord, basically Jupiter is also in Maran Karak. So things are not that rosy. So you are required to do a specific thing. You do Gayatri every day morning. Gayatri mantra, simple Gayatri mantra. And that can really help you out in a big and effective way. Do Gayatri, please. Okay. From financial perspective, well, for you, self efforts are required, definitely required. But if you do Gayatri, then definitely those self efforts will fructify in material terms. You'll get some, the ways will open up for you to have some inflow of money. Your finances will be intact. Okay. From health perspective, I'll say things are not that great. So I'll also recommend you people to go for a full body health checkup. Before trouble knocks at your door, why don't you get to know about the trouble yourself and start to cure it? Isn't it? Wise decision. Relationships, well, relationships have been good for you so far. But now there'll be self constraint on the relationship. Saturn being in Lagna, creates some sort of doubts in terms of relationship also. So you need to manage relationship well. How you can manage from astrologically? How can I suggest you? Very effective thing. You need to be a bit slow. Don't be overreactive. Need to be calm in relationship. And when you say the statement after taking your time, definitely things will be in your favor and in other person's favor also. So relationship, you need to look at a win-win situation. It should not be only in your favor. If it is a win-win situation, that's how relationship flourish. Okay. And anything else? Well, very good thing for you, for people Pisces. You have some good friends who can actually advise you. If you take their advice, you can actually make some good decisions. So I'll recommend you to take advice from your friends or your well-wishers. That advice can be handy for you. Now, I've spoken about all these things from Aries to Pisces. Now, one thing I like to talk about the remedial aspect of it. The purpose of astrology or Jyotish, so to say, is fructified when you get the insight of upcoming thing and also you have some sort of remedy. Actual remedy can be given when people look at the individual horoscopes. Why? And I'll talk about this in my part 2 of Saturn transit. This was part 1 where I was talking about the analysis, but part 2 will give you much more flavor. I mean, you'll really love it. So I don't have the privy to your individual horoscopes, and I kept this video, this part 1, at a generic level, but still remedy has to be there, which everybody can do. So for Saturn, the remedy which I recommend to you, very simple and easy, which anybody and everybody can do at any point in time. Please read Hanuman Chalisa. If you read Hanuman Chalisa, a lot of problems will be resolved on its own. Their intensity will be reduced to a larger extent. I'm not saying you'll not face what is in the destiny, but with your devotion to Lord Hanuman, definitely you are trying to pacify Saturn. And why is that so? Those who have seen Ramayana, they understand how Hanumanji helped Saturn in coming out of Ravan's captivity. If not, you can read Ramayana or go to Ramayana episode and look for what actually happened, how Hanumanji helped Saturn. And that's how whenever you pray to Hanumanji, Saturn feels really happy. He feels, okay, let me help this guy. Alright? So, at the end, let me pray Saturn to bless all of us watching the video and all of us in general. Bless us with a lot of discipline, a lot of capability to do hard work, a lot of integrities and a lot of traditional values which we really need at this point in time. May Saturn bless all of us with all these attributes. And let me end the video with Om Namah Shivaya.